So it's not welcome back, it's just welcome to the first race of Division 2 in Season 6. The first race of Division 2 is obviously here at Jeddah Street Circuit. I'm not going to say Corniche because, I know. Whatever. Anyway, we have a full grid of 20 drivers, which is going to be pain for me, because it means I have more people's names to say. And that's not too fun. Anyway, here, who have we got? Introduce myself with new drivers. Also, I massively apologise if you hear a jet engine in the background. That is my old ass PS4, and soon I will be upgrading to a PS5, and we won't have that issue, and I'll have super fast loading times. Anyway, first one out on the track, one of the Ferraris, it looks like. Nah, it's not. It's one of the Alfa Romeos, am I? It is. James the Eagle 1. I have not seen him race, which is one of the interesting drivers. A few I haven't seen race before. We've got James the Eagle. I've seen Maggot race. JRKP, who I thought would have a different name, but no, he's going to come out on the medium tyres, so I haven't seen him race at all. Hammers I've seen race, Haas I've seen race, 2GL Stewart I've seen race, I think I can never get his right name right, but I've seen him race. Okay, we call him Mario, because that's what it looks like. Mario in a Haas, out on the intermediates to set a time, so he can have a delta to set his time against. I assume that's what it is. I haven't seen him race. Kalitsos. I haven't seen race. Cavolis I have seen race. Man Like Donkey I've seen race. Honey Badger I've seen race. It's Billy I've seen race. Marshmallow I've seen race. Benny Booner I've seen racing for a very, very, very long time. Nicky Lauda I've seen racing. Evan I've seen racing. And Sports Mad I have kind of seen racing. Anyway, I should be looking for people who are actually setting their laps instead of saying people whose names. As we come down to turn 1 and 2, James the Eagle flat out second gear coming out of the second turn, coming up to turn 3 now, all the way down into third, slamming on that throttle, using a bit of the old full TC, I think, very close to the walls. Curbs don't unsettle the car as he comes around all these fast corners, and his first sector time a 32.9. That's interesting to see, as Kazingle is also on his lap, but I think he's already given up on it from turns 2 to 3. Felix the Pirate, who I've had the pleasure with racing alongside myself, comes through sector 1, fabulously controlling the car. What it looks like. The duo in the Aston Martin both look very speedy today. He sets a 32.7 for his first sector. We'll hop him back on board with James the Eagle, who is now blasting it down the final straight towards the final corner of the Jeddah Street Circuit track, scraping super close against the inside wall there as he blasts down to the finish line. His time will be a 1:29.3 to get a start, and then Hammer instantly replies with a 1:28.5, a great lap from him, but I assume it will be beaten by, next across the line, a Ferrari of Evan, who's watching a 1:33.5. Not a representative time, I think it's just making a mistake on that lap, because Ingle's already invalidated. Maggot just hits the wall as we hop on board there. I'm actually getting a lot of comments I can see in the top right, so sadly I'm going to pull up my own stream to have a look at these comments. Who is going to cross the line next? One of the Hasses, obviously Mario, and then a Mercedes who will hop on board with Billy. And I did see somebody around, I think that was the Alpha Tauris who were going down, as Billy puts it P4 with a 30.3. As also I didn't see who crossed the line. Felix at 28.8. I think he can go faster as well. So very good times. I assume a 1:28.0 will be pole time as Billy spins it right in the center of the track here, putting in neutral accidentally. I'm trying to put up the stream but also trying to commentate at the same time, and he's still spinning round. You really cannot get this car in a straight line. Not helping. There we go, finally does it. As we have a lot more viewers, there's less people racing I think today. Or is it 2 divisions? Oh, we've got Elliot in the chat, we've got Lunatic in the chat, we've got Nerd in the chat, we've got Nail in the chat, we've got Jaegerbomb in the chat. Jaegerbomb. With 15 people watching, wow, that's a fabulous amount. As Benny Buno sets a time, so does Husk, so does Maggot, so does Cavolas. The McLaren looking to do some business. Benny Buno back in Division 2. It's been a while since he was in a division this high. I don't know if he's really ready for it. Haven't seen him race in ages though. It'd be good to watch his journey. Anyway, a few people who haven't set a lap. Zingold, Stewart, the Williams driver, Soz, Catlit Soz, in Alfa Romeo. Man like Donkey, I'm surprised you haven't set a lap. And Connor goes Stewart in the Alpine. I do know my French a little bit, Connor, as he thinks Stewart will have a good chance at taking pole. I did see him in Division 0, was quite fast. One person who did surprise me in Division 0 was Felix the Pirate and Kazingle. Two, obviously I've already mentioned them both, Aston Martin crew looking to do very well, and Hammers did say to me before the race, we said to him in the entire division in the chat, that he is not a contender. He says that as he does sit P1, as we'll watch TJ Stewart's lap in the Alpine for this entire race. As Benny Buno says, oh my god, this pit lane is so buggy, and it is. If you try blast into that pit lane, before you even get to the pit entry line, it will give you a 5-second time penalty, because you are not allowed to go into the pit lane over 80 kilometers per hour. But even before you get to the... Oh, I'd actually cursed him. I've cursed him, but so has Connor. Connor saying Stewart's going to do well. He spins at, I don't know, I think it's turn 8 or something. And he slaps it into the wall. Luckily, he just parked off track, so it means we can hop on board with who else has just passed him. Man like Donkey in the Red Bull. He's doing down a good qualifying session here. It's a 33.4 in the first second. Not too fast. I don't know where this lap will put him. Maybe around 10th place with Cavolas and JRKP. Taking it nice and safe on some of these corners, as you want to do around Jeddah, if it is your first lap. Very tough. Get on the throttle too early in most of the corners. The rear slides away because the weight distribution just doesn't want to comply. Apparently set a purple middle sector there, man like Donkey. I'll be curious to see if that's actually real or EA is just lying to all of us. Yes, it is typical Stewart. Crashing out. Who else? Sport also. Hopefully he does good. I think I've wanted to see him do well. Keeping in the high gears, which I think is a good thing to do in this track, getting the traction. And I think it's just a technique in this game to do. Never mind, he's not even on our lap, so I don't even know why I'm commentating. Mario finally sets a representative lap on the soft tyre, I think, a 33.6. Evan obviously going for a second run here, as his first one wasn't too great, looking to beat his teammate Maggot in 10th place, who's also just starting a lap. Very difficult to keep commentating of 20 cars and giving everyone equal time on the broadcast. Let's see if I can do it. It's probably better that we don't have the absolute maniac of NLR No Jug here to confuse our brains with slander and whatnot. LC brings to the commentating as again, it seems like Maggot sets a purple sector 1. Oh, interesting to see if that is true as he comes towards, I don't know what turn number this is, of the multiple of them. He puts it down, brings it into 5th gear, gets great traction at the corners, gets full throttle early and doesn't hit the wall. As TGL Stewart says, he does hate this track, just gets this out of the way and then work on the rest of the season. Wish there was space for me today. Lunatic Kai wishing he could race in Division 2. I think he's stuck down in Division 3, unfortunately. Not fast enough for these epic gamers in Division 2. As Maggot gets a good drive out of the final corner. And that's a 28.7 and putting in P3. 2/10 off pole position as Kazingle, who obviously we did see... we were watching for a small amount of time. I forgot what I was going to say. Sportman goes 128.511. What's that? 29 thousandths faster than Hammer Suck 88. Which is not a surprise because obviously I wanted him to do well and I didn't curse this driver. So the grid is very close actually, it's fascinating. I mean, a bit of a gap between P6 and P7, but I'm sure James the Eagle will be looking to cut that gap down. As he's at a 1/10 faster through the first sector, gets good traction, rotates the car very early in that corner. Oh, slamming back straight on the throttle, eager to set a faster time. That's good getting out of the way there from one of the Hasses. I think that's Mario. Who else is on a lap who I haven't watched? Huss is not really on that too fast of a lap. We should watch JRPK. I got his name mixed up. As he's coming through the second sector. Oh, this might as well be a straight, a DRS straight, so we'll call it a DRS straight, even though somehow the corners are actually corners. Bring it to 5th gear, go right over the curb there on the inside, which is always a bit risky to do. You never want to go full throttle over that curb with no traction control, depending on what your setup is, as it really does unsettle the car through that sector. Bringing it down to the final corner, great braking, he gets a great minimum speed as he quickly shifts up into 8th to cross the line. 129.8, 1.6 seconds faster, putting in P7. That's good for his second qualifying lap, as I don't know how long it's left, as we do have yellow flags around the place, so I'll have to see who else in the lap. Benny Buno is about a lap. Is he coming to the line? I think he's coming into the pits. And what we were saying is the pit lane very slow. You have to go into the chicane like under 100 kilometers per hour to not get a warning, to not get a penalty. And you have to hit the pit lane entry line at 80 kilometers not to get a warning. Ah, Lunatic Kai just says he is fast enough for Division 1. He's just a reserve driver. I've heard that excuse many a times. I'm joking. It is unfortunate, but it's great to have a full grid in Division 2. One of the only divisions actually to have a full grid, I'm pretty sure, as Division 1 is actually slacking with I think only 15 drivers at the moment, and Division 3, it's all races tomorrow. I don't think that's full, and Division 4, which is on right now, I think, but that isn't full. But obviously we prefer to watch this division because of yours truly and the amazing drivers that are racing in it. It should be a very exciting season of racing. As Lunatic Kai is getting brave in the chat, saying he could participate in Division 1. It's a bold statement to say the least. I mean, I'm sure there might be a reserve space for him, so if you do want to check out that race with Lunatic Kai, that is on tomorrow at the exact same time this is being streamed. Again, yours truly is racing in it, and a lot of other very fast drivers. As Havoc Connor says he is the slowest driver, saying he needs Division 5 just so he can race against himself. As anyway, I probably should be getting on with some other laps. Should be actually watching some people instead of reading the chat. I can read the chat at an interval in the middle. As Evan retires the track, I think that is in the pit lane, as I can't see a yellow flag. As Nunes comes out of turns, I don't know, 15, something like that, 16, coming onto the very long straight. I think he's going to set a good time. The Williams driver here, paired with Marshmallow, who is sat relatively low on the grid today at 30.7 for him. I'm sure he's got more in the tank. He made a mistake on this lap. Here's you watch yellow flagged in sector 2. Is that a spin? No, I think that's a car just going slow. One of the Alpines. As Astunas will come to the line. A 1:28.9 puts him P6, 2/10 off Maggot, and who's also on a lap, and he is up and improving as well. He's looking to take P3 and 4 away from the Aston Martins, but Kazingo is also about to start a lap, so we'll have to hop on board with him to see how well his sector 1 is. A driver who is contesting for pole only needs less than half a tenth of a second to grab pole position, but I think a lot of drivers are competing for it, as Ham is also on a lap, but he is down 1/10, which isn't too great for obviously him. But he is up actually now by 10th, but he feel like he missed that corner. Wrong gears for Hammer. As Maggot goes pole position by just over half a tenth of the Ferrari driver, setting in a great lap, as we did see, we watched some of it. As Hammer now comes to the final corner, gets from the throttle nice and early, some traffic, again a beautiful slipstream really here from his teammate, I think it is indeed, and just improves by 0.08 of a second. It's not enough to move him anyways, because Zingle is off the throttle, so he's not going to set a lap. He will stay P4, maybe even drop down. Felix the Pirates looking to improve, but he invalidates at turn 4, so we'll have to move down the grid further. And Marshmallow set a good lap. I think he's not on one though, but that's P6 for him. I think he's going to stay P6. Nicky Lauda is on laps. One of the only drivers to still do so, as Billy was the one giving Hammers a slipstream, but he is not on a lap. Honey Badger is coming up to the final corner. We'll see if he can improve here from. We'll see if he can improve from P16. Oh, in second gear, gets a bit of understeer there, so it's quite. Has to slow down. He does improve by 2/10, moving up one place ahead of Billy, as James the Eagle. Sport Mad actually goes faster than Maggot. A 28.3, a great lap. I probably should have been on board with him, but James the Eagle is now coming up to the final turn. He's looking to improve off P10. As Nicky Lauda is also going to improve here. It looks like P7 for the Eagle, and Lauda gets P7, just beating out the Eagle by 0.02 of a second. Who else on a lap? I think we'll call it the end of it there. We're excited qualifying. Man like Donkey actually just goes faster than Billy and Honey Badger, and I think that's it. Kalitsos just clips the wall on the final straight, and his time will not be improved upon. As that is it. We have the grid set for the 25 lap race around Jeddah Street Circuit. As Hammer could just retire for us, but I don't think he will, because he wants to prolong our suffering. Same with the Marshmallow Man and Mario in the Haas, and Billy also in the I don't mind, he's not. It's just Hammers and Marshmallow wasting our time now. Anyway, I'll run down the grid, because actually no, I won't. I'll run down the grid when we are doing the tyres. I'll look at the comments at the moment. Let's see what our fantastic fans are saying in the chat. It seems like Spathis is in the chat as well. So it's Connor. They're just chatting amongst themselves. This is definitely more interesting than Chelsea versus Liverpool. Both of those clubs are absolutely bad teams, because that's the best word I can use on stream. As we have a lot of oh my god, you can literally hear myself through my mic. Oh my god. Oh, I hadn't muted the stream. That's very embarrassing. Gonna ignore that. There's a lot of people supporting Sport Mad, as he is P1 by 1/10 of a second. Not much, but the grid is decently close together today. What is it? Separated by 3.1 seconds. TJ Stewart not able to set a lap there, which is a bit unlucky. He did get commentated. Curse plus Nerdy did curse him in the comments. So, yeah. But a lot of nationalities as well. I didn't realise we've got a few. Got an Irish driver, French driver, a couple Greek, Austrian, Turkish. It's great to see. First proper race since I broke my leg. Just wanted to finish. Ah, see, that's probably why I haven't seen Benny Booner, because he had a leg injury that stopped him from racing. Even though I think he used his controller. But we're going to move on from that anyway. I think I'm going to get a drink, because all this talking has really quenched my thirst. No, that's the wrong word to use. I'm going to quench my thirst. As actually, when I'm spectating, my PS4 is very, very quiet actually. Anyway, moving on, I can run down the grid here today. Can I please have the, what's it, tyres? A mixed bunch, as we have the majority of drivers on the medium tyres, 6 drivers on the hard tyre and 1 driver on the softs. As obviously Sport, a great lap from him puts him pole position, and he starts in the mediums. Maggot going P2, great lap from the Ferrari driver. He's also starting the mediums. Hammer, who said he was now actually in contention this season, has put it P3, and he's going to be starting the mediums. Kazinga, who started on the hards last night in Division 0, he starts P4. Exactly in the same order as yesterday. Felix starts behind Kazinga like they did in Division 0, but they are both on the hard tyre, so hopefully we don't have to see them double stack under a safety car period. Marshmallow, the fastest William driver here today, as I was saying, he didn't put in a too great a lap in qualifying, but here he is, P6. Fastest Red Bull, Nicky Lauda, P7. The Eagle, who I hadn't watched, and they seem to be quite fast in P8, he's starting on the mediums. Athunas, who I can never get his name right, he's also on the mediums. The new driver, JRKP, the fastest AlphaTauri, he's starting on the mediums. Huss also on the mediums. Mario, who initially went out on intermediates in qualifying, he starts on the mediums. Evan on the hards. Benny Buno on the mediums. Man Like Donkey on the hards. Honey Badger on the mediums. Billy and Carolus on the hards. Manklitsos on the mediums, and TJ Stewart, the only driver, right at the back to start on the softs. And as he parks up, we will get to the front of the grid to watch the lights go out. Sadly, it gives me a horrendous camera angle, so I think I will just jump on board with one of the top 5 drivers, and we get 5 lights, and away we go. Very short period there. A couple people caught out there, as Felix gets a wonder start on the hard. There's already a massive crash down the grid, as it looked like Mario's went out. That's 3 drivers already retired there. Oh wow, that's shaking at the grid a bunch, as Kazingle, the favourite that I did say, he was very fast, has crashed out. He had a poor start compared to his teammates, as he bounced across the grid and kind of took everyone else out. That is not great to see. Well, oh wow. Well, I mean, the top 5 did well to get away from that, and then everyone below kind of was a bit shocked at the carnage in front of them. I think we'll have to look at the details. Who has jumped up the most positions? The top 2 are still the same. Felix had a great start there, jumped up 2 places. Hammer just lost a position to Felix, but didn't lose much else. JR, KP's made up 5 places, Mario's made up 6 places, Thuna's made up 2, Huss has made up 3, 4 places for Evan, Benny Bruno and Man Like Donkey. TJ Stewart on the softs makes up 8 places in that carnage, 6 places for Kalitsos, Cavolis makes up 4, and Billy makes up 2, and then obviously the losers of the start was Nicky Lauda, who seems to be okay actually. Seems to have a front wing. He just doesn't seem to have too great of a start. And we've gone board with Nicky to Marshmallow. Does he have a front wing? Looks like it. Yeah, it looks okay. Just unlucky. I think look, Husk and Benny Boone are the only 2 that are pitting. I assume this is for. Oh, yeah. Look, already our first victim of the pit lane. Nicky Lauda and Benny Bruno, as Benny Bruno does not have a front wing, nor does Billy, nor does Manly Donkey. Double stacking for the Red Bulls. Mercedes, it's Billy comes in, he needs a new wing. Husk I think also needed a new wing, so everyone pitting for new wings. So we'll see what tyres these guys went on to. I think everyone that started on the hards went to the mediums, and everyone that started on the mediums went to the hards. I mean, actually, I think Billy started on the mediums, didn't he? So he's just gone through another set of mediums. Okay, my race director does not want to work. Never mind, everyone has changed tyre that was on. They haven't gone for the same tyre. Very smart, and obviously the 3 at the bottom. Very unfortunate, really. James the Eagle literally never raced. Well, he has raced in DTR in Division 0, but I mean, for his first Division 2 race, that is very unlucky to be caught in that carnage. As I'll look back at the chat here. Yes, everyone that voted for this track, you know, a bit unfortunate. I mean, I actually do like this track, but it is very narrow if a crash like that was to happen at the start. Hopefully this crash gets all the big crashes out of the way. Kazingo spun and caused this. It did look like that. I think he just wasn't. He saw Felix whiz past him on the hards and probably was like, shit. I mean, he probably thought, oh no, I need to be also get going. And maybe he spun, maybe, we don't know, maybe James hit him from behind and that's what they're both doing there. I'll have to watch it back, and I'm sure it will be, never mind. Kazing was actually just admitted to it in the Division 2 chat. So, hopefully there's no, penalty for that, because it's a racing incident at the start of the race, but it's unfortunate that it's taken 2 drivers. As Benny Bruno comes into the pits again, I assume they just did not change his. No, I actually saw them change his wing. I assume he's just serving the penalty now, going on to the mediums again. Yep. I prefer starting on the hards here. It's a bit iffy at the start, you know. especially if there's an early safety car, you've got to go a bit later. But the mediums are just so wonderful to get onto. You get so much pace in the second stint. As I assume once these two catch up at the back of the grid, we will get going again. That's just be the third lap. Safety cars. No, this will actually be the second lap to cross the line. So, where are we? What have I been saying? Bert Mylander shows his face. No jug today. So can't really. I would love to do the voice of Bert Mylander, but I think it's too early even in the season for him to be better than anyone today. Sadly, Guna isn't in Division 2 this season. His favourite pal. It will always seem to benefit from the early safety cars. As we've got more people watching than there are racing, which is crazy to see. Okay, I'm just a waffler, lunatic. Even though I'm stating facts. He says GT7 is better than F1, and I have to admit that is probably facts, as I've only played a small amount of GT7 before deleting it, because I was like, why does it need to take up 120-ish gigabytes on my PS4? My PS4 cannot handle that. So when I get a PS5, I'll probably re-download it and be like, wow, the graphics are amazing, and the game is so great. Anyway, as we go, on the start, Maggots gets a great jump on Sport there. As down the inside tried going Felix, he spun around. Now the Aston Martins are having a nightmare of a race, as Evan got really close to the back of Athunas there, and or was it Kalutsos? I think overtook him. My waffling actually on the start means we didn't get too great of a watch, and I'm very sorry about that. So I guess we'll hide the menu now, as we will hop on board. Who is closest? Who is closest? Chijo Stewart, who pitted onto the softs, and there's another crash. Cavolis crashing the same place that Chijo Stewart did. I don't think that's going to be a safety car because it had just came out. So now moving on, wide goes Kalitsos, and that allows Nikita, literally no K in his name, just call him Marshmallow. Marshmallow gets through. As Mario gets overtaken by... No, he's gaining on JRK, isn't he? Gonna get a good run here. I think both using EOS, yeah. As I'm probably missing it for the lead, as Maggot wants to go for the overtake there, as he thinks about diving down the inside, does Sport. But actually might get a better exit here, as wide goes Maggot. He had to compromise the exit, and now they're both using ERS here early in the start. No DRS being enabled, and they're both dumping ERS Hammer behind. Watching this from afar, not using any ERS, knowing that he can catch right up to the pack, as 9/10 instantly switches now to 4.5. No, never mind, 6.5. I was looking at a Sport to Maggot. It's a great couple of overtakes, as Marshmallow is right in the back of Evan here. He's on the hard tyre, so he's going to be looking for an overtake. As towards the back, Stewart is super close to his teammate on Huss. These four here are super close. Billy trying to make a move on Kalidsos. As we're about to see a double overtake here. Four in a row almost, going side by side. Who was that diving on the inside? No, that wasn't anyone. Oh my god. Who do I have to watch here to be able to watch it? Or trying to get Husk and maybe see it. I don't know, that's chaos that's going on. Oh, Stewart's trying to get the switch back into that corner, trying to get the drive. Couldn't do it, as now Nicky Lauda is trying to make the move on Kalitos, but just can't because there's not enough space on the inside. Oh, he's super close to the back of him. Oh, dumping his ERS to get past here. It's only lap 5. Oh my god, they're so close. And now they come to the final corner. This is going to be interesting. Back out has to be Kalitos, the one who backs out. As we see Husk slam it into the wall, losing traction. There, he's now going to have to pit for a new front wing. As who is anyone making an overtake? No, Billy's leading a huge DRS train now, from 9th to last, or 15th. Even 6 drivers there caught there, as a few drivers in the middle kind of losing it. Athunos 2.5 seconds to Mariko. I wanted to call him Mario, but it's always offensive if I don't say his whole name. JRK goes wide at the hairpin, I think, and that allows Mario to get a really good run at him. As man like Donkey is being passed by TJ Stewart, it looked like. It's feeling the Pirate managed to get past Kalitos, I think. Side by side we can see there Benny Buno and Kalitos, and that doesn't end well for either of them. As we see going into the corner side by side, coming out of the corner, and another safety car is being deployed. So that means we've had a solid 3 laps of racing, 2.5, something like that. Maggot was just about to break out the DRS of Sport Mad as well here. Interesting to see, too early to change strategy, I think, if you're on the medium tyre. The hards won't really go to the end, but some medium runners decide to go. 5-second time penalty for Maggots for speeding into the pit lane. Because of the obviously weird glitched pit lane that we have here. Marshmallow making up a huge amount of positions here. There's a ton of people actually do decide to pit to go onto the hard tyre. And it's looking really risky, like 18 laps on the hard. Really? Are you really doing that? Like, I know you're probably thinking it's going to be another safety car, but it has to be right at the end if you're going to capitalise. Like, these hard tyres is... Whew. And then 5-second time penalty for Kalitos for coming together with Benny Bruno. We'll have a look at the penalties here. It's actually only 2 people that have penalties. I think it would be way more. Also, warnings we have to take into account here as well, because obviously it's a very fast track in Sector 1. It's very easy to go out of track by about a couple of inches and get an exceeding track limit warning. So I can assure you that by the end of the race we will see many drivers having 3 seconds, even 6 seconds, maybe even 9 seconds. Oh, I dropped my controller. As lap 7, we're waiting for 4 drivers to catch the back of the grid before we can go, but I think the safety car has to do another lap before it is allowed to go. Over 137 comments, that's got to be a DTR record. If that many comments, I think, who is looking to... I mean, favourite, I'd still say Sport Mad here. I'd love to know his tyre percentage. I mean, I'm sure these mediums can go around 12-ish laps before they start falling off, so hopefully a bit of a gap can be formed. But I mean, imagine being Nicky Lauda, like, he crashed to do it. He was at the back of the grid, and now he's all the way back up to 5th. So it's great to see that. Questionable from Hammers to pit from P3, decides to go, he goes down to 9th now, behind Maggots. So realistically, Maggots is in 2nd after everyone pits, and I think he's going to the end. That was what it would assume like. Diego saying he is single-handedly the man that is very talkative in the chat, meaning we get so many comments, but I don't mind reading. It's very exciting to say that I get 16 people watching. It's crazy. Probably most of them, a few of them, maybe even the drivers, just listening to the chaos unfolding when I have to commentate it. Jago. Cos, come on you sport. Nah, it's come on you Spurs. That's why you say Cos. Come on you Spurs, because Spurs is great like that. And yeah, I should be focusing on the race, but what race? It's neutralised. Bert Myland has been out here way too long. Anyway, the safety car actually is in this lap, so I will have a race to commentate on now. I don't have to look at chat. No. COYG. Disgraceful. Would never say that in my life. Criminal. It's a fluke of a season, this one. Almost like the Leicester season. But we won't talk about it, because I can't be bothered. Anyway, off we go. We don't have to stop looking at chat. Anyway, I am. It's Billy's getting a great run on Stewart here across the line. I think we'll go on board with TJ Stewart as we get to watch it first hand. Here, Felix Pirate also making a move up on Donkey. You see in the background, oh, as Billy loses the rear end as Maggot spun. No, has he been hit round or is he just spun? Does he have a... Oh, so unfortunate. The man starting from second now all the way at the back. It's going to be a redemption race, and he's begging for another safety car now. With the sportsman uncontested, Ish in the lead, and now Billy spun round, and he's... Oh my god, oh. Oh my... Oh. Oh. Oh, what? Oh, that's what, three cars there? 4 cars? That is, no safety cars being deployed actually, so surprisingly we just have 7 cars that are out. Oh, never mind, safety car has now been deployed again. This race is just getting less and less entertaining as cars are piling up by the wayside. The stewards are not having a field day. They're hating this right now. The crane being deployed so many times to get these stricken cars, but Mylander is actually exhausted the amount of laps he actually has to drive around the street circuit. But here we go. But it's never getting a break. I mean, the people who didn't pit under the first safety car now are golden. TJ Stewart deciding that he doesn't want to pit and he's going to stay out on the medium tyres. For him, maybe he predicts another safety car. Who knows the wisdom of TJ Stewart. If I could red flag it, I would red flag it, because it would be way more entertaining, and they should have that in the next game, but I don't think they will. So who's that? Sport Mad and Husk fighting over position under the safety car, and I think Husk just would have got it as he came out of just beat Sport out of the pit lane. As mixed strategies to the grid. Now I don't even know what tyres people started on. Problem is, I should have been on board with Billy. I was just on board with Billy, and he spins, and of course Billy was right at the front as he spins, and then popping out around the corner, forcing driver come blasting around the corner just to be met with a stricken Mercedes car that takes Benny out. But again, how many is that? James, the new driver, gone. Kazingle, gone. Honey Badger, gone. They were all just on lap 1. And then Cavolis and Man Like Donkey, and JRK, Billy and Bruno taken out. It's just chaos. Like, Benny Bruno caused the second safety car, I think, with the incident with Cavolis, that DNF'd Cavolis, I'm pretty sure. And then a 4 get taken out just after the lap. Literally wasn't even the end of sector 1 yet. But This is what it gets a full grid in Saudi Arabia. I guess. I mean, it just means longer for me to commentate, and I can assure you it probably will not be the last. Do we have another lap under the safety car? Looks like we do. Whatever. I guess I will have a... What even can I look at? Penalties, Kalitsos and Maggot both in the Ferrari. Oh no, Kalitsos in the Alfa Romeo. So those two on penalties on 5 seconds. I think that's in the pit lane. 3 stops from Benny Bruno before he retired. 2 stops from Husk, and then everyone else has already stopped. A little bit of a screen freeze there. It's even hard to say who's going to win at this point. I mean, Felix was in 4th, then he was last, then he was up near like 8th or something, and then now he's back down to 12th, which is technically last. I don't even know what's going to happen in the race. Should we have a look at the race directory? What's going on here? So, TJ Stewart starting from last is already in 1st, from the soft to the medium tyre. Hammer's in 2nd, he's probably going to stay on the hard tie to the end, I assume. But can we just look at the times? Look, a 1 minute 55 lap from the starting lap, and then a 2 minute 15 lap, and then a 2 minute 22 lap, and then 2 racing laps, and then 140. I assume he pits for like and for like the safety car. He does actually pit, and then a 2 minute. It's just there's no racing. But whatever. So, basically it's stay alive and you will score points. Sport managing to stay out of trouble, even though he started in 1st, so it's not that difficult. But the safety car will be coming in this lap. This will be the 3rd restart, and so who started it the first time? Who restarted it? Was it Sport, and then it was Maggot, and now it's TJ Stewart. So 3 different starters of the safety car, which will be interesting to see. Going very slow is TJ Stewart on the start. I think Felix the Baguette will be the next one to retire somehow at the back of the grid. And it would take ages before we go. And TJ Stewart decides to go super late, which catches Hammer out significantly, but it catches Athenas out even more. As you can see, Mario and Evans going side by side, and Husk also going side by side. 3 wide back there, looks like. As hopefully they somehow get through these sectors, they're like, without crashing. As Evans gets in front of Mario. Mario right in the back, and even in the background you can see cars going. Who's going on? There's already another one round. There you go. The Maggots and Marshmallow round. As we hopping forward with Felix. No, just behind, just in front of Felix. And Nicky Lauda as Husk gets past Kalitos. Oh god, this can't end well. Never mind, Kalitos tucks in and gets good. Oh, great traction there from Nicky Lauda. Speeds past Kalitos. As Evan is close in the back of Mario, it said. That's a yellow flag of Kalitos' round. Oh, very close on that inside curb. Anyway, who is actually... Are we seeing some overtaking? Anyway, Evan trying to send it down the outside of Mario. Don't know why I say Mario, but anyway. It's better traction. TJ Stewart actually leading from Hammers here, even though, I mean, Hammers on the hards and TJ's on worn mediums. These mediums surely can only last 3, 4, 5 more laps maybe before they start proper falling off. There's 3 cars pit at the end of that lap. Marshmallow, Kalitzos and Maggot. Maggot managed to beat Kalitzos out of the pit lane. I think Kalitzos had to fix his wing. But I'm sure they both had to fix their wing to do it. Anyway. After those guys, allowed his man to make his second pass. Sport gets past Evan. Oh my god, Evan trying to hang in there around the outside. Didn't work. Lauda still trying to get past Huss here. And can't do it. Evan very close on the back of Sport. And you can see Mario hunting down Athunas. No DRS down this straight, but the next one, which is half a lap away. Oh, as you can see in the background, Lauda thinks about sending it down the inside, but doesn't in the end. Oh, never mind. Who is that? Very close. Was that Felix the Pirate joining onto the end of this little fight? As DTR Black Mamba leaves us. That's he's had enough today, as halfway through the race now actually. And only had 5 laps of racing. As these 3 are the closest on track. I mean, you've got Mario or Maradacco. Oh my god, that's so easy. It's Maradacco. But I've been calling Mario. Maradacco is hunting down Athunas. As there we go. Lauda making the move on Husk. The second time of asking, and it looks like Felix will be the next one to pass. But I think we'll hop on board Maradacco now. He's going around the outside. It's the final corner. I think he just forced Athunas to defend a bit, and it really looks like I can't really get a good view from Sport. Mario got a great exit and a nice easy pass there, or is he Maradacco giving enough space to Athunas? Athunas couldn't brake late enough to even stay side by side with Maradacco, so now the front 2 running away with it ish, kinda. Hammer's fighting to try and clip into the DRS of Hammer, and he's just done so. I mean, Hammer's trying to clip into the DRS of Stewart. As Sport is now caught the back of Athunas. Or as Felix gets past Lauda. And somehow they're both behind Husk again. So maybe a mistake from... Well, no. Felix is already behind Husk, but he now just fell back 2 places now. So... that's a good shot, isn't it? Probably mistake my PlayStation for one of the cars. As closing, both cars closing on Husk now, as you can see. No moves taken. No, but it looks like Sport is going to make a move actually on Athunas here. On the inside. But I think they're catching Maradacco. Oh, he's being boxed in there, Athunas, really. Oh, but he's managed to stay on the outside. Still on the outside. And he's just been beaten there. Sport unable to make the move around the outside. Thinks about going down the inside. That's a risky move at turn 4. As now, from 4th to 9th, all under 1 second. So all of them have DRS. You can see them swing out of the final corner. Almost at the final corner in Sector 1. As in the background you can actually see Husk and Lauda still going at it for like the third time this race. Lauda's trying to go, but they're both so low on ERS that it's difficult. But Lauda's just got an incredible drive out of that corner compared to Husk. There we go. You see the Red Bull underneath the lights. Oh, they're so close, side by side. Oh, this is great racing. As Lauda gets in front again, how the story always ends. But maybe Husk has a chance to fight him back, because he's actually got DRS here. But they've both got DRS, but they're both flying, and now lower downforce. Husk gets back in front of Lauda there, and also I think this gives another shot to Sport. But Thunis is just unable to. I mean, oh wow, and Hammer caught up to the back of Stewart fast, as his tyre is really gripping up now. As I assume, yeah, 15 laps for Stewart. These tyres be crying out for some. They just want to stop. As obviously we've got Lauda, who's right in the back of Husk. Oh, so close to getting a warning there, I think, for Lauda. There's another great run on Husk here towards the hairpin, but don't think it was surmount to anything. As oh, we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. As that is Marshmallow. He's been having an unlucky race, I think. He didn't have too great of a start either, Marshmallow. Actually, Lauda has managed to get in front of Husk, as I was looking at Marshmallow, and already improved got his gap from 8 to 8 tenths. And Felix is looking to make a move on Evan, but Hammer's looking to make a move on Stewart, and it's done so. But Stewart does have DRS. He's praying for a safety car. If he doesn't pit this lap, it's very difficult. Hammer's with so much more ERS, just able to keep out of range from Stewart. Maradaku hopefully going to be at the closest gap to Stewart. You'll see some racing there. Sportman does actually make a move on Thunis there, which I probably missed. Now he's looking to make the move with Maradaku. As Felix also looking to make a move on Evan. Oh, and he probably will towards the hairpin. Oh, both dumping ERS to stay ahead of each other as Kalitos retires onto the final straight. Will that be a safety car? No cars are going near him so far, so I don't think it will be. Not even a virtual, which Stewart is very annoyed about, I can imagine. Yes, the cars managed to be cleared instantaneously, as no cars were near Kalitos when he crashed. Sport Mad 9 tenths off Maradaku. Evan trying to catch a Thunis, but oh, Felix here, they're bound to make the move. Oh. Down the inside goes Felix. He's right up against that wall. Don't know if it's going to be able to get traction. Evan had the way better line going through there. The fact that they're even fighting here at all is quite crazy. It's now Felix on the outside. Oh my god, super late braking from Felix. Almost slams into the back of Thunis. And Thunis gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cut. And so does Felix. And Felix gets in front of Evan there, but by cutting the corner. So realistically, should have to give this place back when he can. I think he's going to there. But unfortunately, that lets Lauda through as he gives the place back. Thunis doesn't have to give any place back, as he was just supposed to, I think he was going to be hit, but I think he did miss the braking as well. But it was glad that he went straight on, because I think he would have been hit if he actually broke normally. Good awareness if that was the case. And here comes Sport Mad. Small Mud unable to close the gap to Marudaku here. It's sitting at 6 attempts now, but every time I look, it's back at 9. I don't know how that's happening. And he really should be catching here. He should be able to make a move onto the straight. As also, Hammers is leading the race at the moment as TJ Stewart has pitted for softs. Obviously, he didn't put under the last safety car that we had at lap 9, was it? Lap 8. So his tyres were since the start. But look, in a straight line, it's just the Marudaku's got so much more like straight line speed than Sport Mad. I thought Mad's lacking in the ERS department. I was unable to get anywhere near as TJ Stewart gets past his teammate. But Husky's in the pit anyway, so we don't really get to watch that move, as he's got 9 seconds to make up on Felix. Well, Felix for the 3-second time penalty. But he will say nullify the advantage, so he might get that removed. On board with Lauda. Again, I think we've been riding on board with Lauda for most of the race, as he is overtaking everybody. It looks like there goes Evan. Evan has been dispatched by Lauda. 1.7 to Athunas in front, and I think Athunas has a 3-second time penalty, so he could just chill here. But maybe he wants to try catch Sport Mad, which will be a task and a half, because those two, Marudaku and Sport Mad, are really pushing to stay ahead of. Marudaku pushing to stay ahead of Sport, and Hammer's kind of in the league of his own at the moment, just relaxing, making sure not to crash, but still going fast. So still using a bit of ERS every now and then just to cement his lead, as Evan actually now manages to overtake Lauda into the corner. But now, a lot of ERS. Oh no, never mind. Oh god, I've been mixed up with everyone. Flashing light for. Oh, there's a big contact there, I think, on the straight between Felix and Lauda. And now Lauda's gone from 5th in 1 lap back down to 7th, being overtaken again by Evan and Felix. Sportman now a little bit closer to Marudaku. 5/10 it is. He's built up some ERS, 30%. And I think so is Marudaku is still on 37. Sportman managed to build up. It's very good. And Felix makes an overtake on Evans, which I've actually just missed. But it's very close between these three here. I think Lauda on the much better tyres here, as he's on the hards, and these two on the mediums. Again, great pace. Different. No, is Evans out? That'll be a safety car. It's got to be a safety car. It is. Brings out the safety car. Now we're going to dash to the line. This is not going to be too great for Hammers. It's easy to have to pick if he should pit, and he definitely should pit onto softs, I think. As will he? Maybe no. He maybe has to stay out. Depends, because I think Marudaku might stay out. These hards are. He does decide to pit. Bold choice, very bold choice for Hammers, and it is the right decision. I tell you, hopefully no one gets a time penalty coming into the pit lane awkwardly here. And I don't look like everybody pits. Now that leaves 10 drivers DNF'd, as everyone pits for softs except from Stewart, whose plan was executed to perfection as the final safety car actually came out. I totally forgot about Stewart, as now he moves into P1 with his 3-lap-old softs. That is crazy. I totally forgot about him. Pleasant surprise. P20 to P1 indeed. That is crazy. As Felix pits onto the mediums? Question mark. Maybe he thinks the soft. Maybe he doesn't like the soft. As Benny Bruno decides to leave us. We've had enough of watching. He thinks Stewart will win the race. The safety car can be. It has to leave us 2 laps of racing, I think. So it has to come in the end of lap 23. So I think that is when the safety car will come in, the end of lap 23. We aren't going, are we? No. Make sure I haven't missed anything. So everyone on the softs now, apart from Felix the Pirate. So after a long, eventful race of 4 safety cars now, we have a 2 lap dash to the line. Everyone on soft tyres. Stewart leading on 4 lap on tyres through a very intricate strategy that I assumed was not planned at all, but shows that anything is possible in a race, and it is a good thing to stand by, and I'll definitely be voting him as my driver of the day regardless, depending on what happens. And saying that, I definitely just jinxed him, hopefully not. He did crash in qualifying, so hopefully I haven't. But it's great from him, he's stuck in there through, you know, everything. 4 safety cars and managed to stay out of trouble. I mean, Hammers as well. Great from him. He's always been around the top, picking the strategy correctly. Maradaku again, he's literally stayed in 3rd for like the entire race. I don't even remember seeing him anywhere else. Sport Mad, unfortunately, not had the best race from P1. The safety cars really screwed him over. But hopefully, now he's got a chance to regain ERS. He should be able to chase down Maradaku. But also Maradaku on 100% ERS, so that would be interesting. Ardunos, he's probably looking to just hopefully stay in P5, get that penalty removed, and that'll be him. Felix looking not to be overtaken as he's on the medium tyres for some reason. Husk and Lauda get another fight for 2 laps. Oh, it's almost Felix goes into the back of Ardunos. It looks like it's going to be a late start from TJ Stewart again, as again it leaves Hammer somewhat in the dust. It's very close between Husk and Felix down the inside on there. Ardunos all very close as Husk. Oh no, and Marshmallow seems to be pushing to get past Lauda now, actually. Side by side, side by side. Oh, Maggot's trying to get involved now as well. To just shoot great start, but now he needs to maintain it. Those tyres will be very rubbered in, but they'll probably be starting to lose their grip as these tyres should be faster, like on Hammers, Maradaku and Sport Man. Oh, Marshmallow's practically pushing Husk through that corner. As here comes Lauda as well, actually. You can see. Very close. Oh, Husk goes deep there. Oh, there's no way he's going to do a double overtake, is he? Go to the inside. Oh no, this is questionable. It's Hammer in the lead up front. But Maradaki and Sport Mad on the outside. Looks like he's going to do it, but they're both probably dumping ERS, they are. And Maradaki just has to pull in behind, especially now TGR has to go side by side. Oh, it's very close between the front two. And I think there was a bit of contact rubbing between Stewart and Hammers. Maradaki loses out. Sport Madden now in third, podium place for him as Marshmallow gets past Huskers. Huskers dropped quite a bit back from Athena and Athena. No, oh, what am I on about? Thunis is way ahead of Husk. Husk had a mistake. Husk still has Marshmallow, Lauda and Maggot behind. As Maradaki's actually very close on back of Sport Mad. Sport Mad's on the back of Hammers. As Hammers got the most ERS out of the bunch, he needs just to save it. He sees he's flashing. This is a great opportunity here. Dash to the line. Just don't go deep. And that's what Hammers has done. And I mean, Sport gets the chance to overtake. No. But the ERS is saving Hammers. What's he going to do? He's got to go to the inside. No, he's going on the outside. Hammers now in front. TJ Stewart late braking, super late braking towards the line. It's almost through wide to the line. What's going on? No, Sport Mad Hammers. No, Sport Mad TJ Stewart. Oh my god. As two drivers come across the line, Hammer wins. TJ Stewart second, Husk third as a massive crash at the back. Look at there. Who's going to, like, oh, that is awful to see after a long, hard race. People fighting a bit too much. Oh my god. I don't even know where everyone is. I can't even commentate on that. It's like so much mayhem. Ends at start. That is a great way to put it, as three drivers on the podiums, both Alpines, which I never thought I would have said on the start of the last lap. Husk in P8, and he comes home P3 just due to chaos on the line. I will read out the grid as it finished. Hammer P1, TJ Stewart from P20 to P2, definitely my driver of the day. Husk somehow was in 10th to 8th the entire race, finished P3. Maggot, who was at the back, the safety car restart, was 10th, he's 4th. Loud is 5th. Felix the Pirate is 6th. Thunas comes 7th. Marshmallow 8th. Sport Mad, who was 3rd on the restart, is now 9th. Maradaku, who was 4th on the restart, or 3rd on the restart actually, is now 10th. Evan is 11th because he crashed out before that. Kalidsos is P12, he crashed out. Benny Bruno crashed out around lap 9, so did Billy, taking JRK with him and Man Like Donkey. Volos was one to crash on his own. Honey Badger, Kazingle and James the Eagle all crashed out on lap 1, not even being able to set a time. So a very interesting race in Division 2 to start off the season, with the winner being obviously Hammers. I mean, we will see if any reports come out, and I'll be sure to tell you at the start of next week's race. In a week's time, I don't know actually where we are racing next, which is very bad of me. I should. But it'll be very fun to have a look at the Division 2 chat. Congratulations to Hammers for winning. Great race from Stewart as well. And Husk gets a special mention because out of nowhere, P3, taking advantage of the situation. So, and it's Imola next week. And we've definitely broken a record on stream here. Over 200 comments for that race. I've never had that. I've never had more than 30 in a race, and we've had 17 for the majority of the race. So hopefully everyone's enjoyed my commentating, and you've all enjoyed everyone's company in the comments, and hopefully it was a very entertaining race, even if it did have 4 safety cars. But yeah, that is all from me. Until next week, I will see everyone in Imola. Thank you for watching.